I don't think it's a surprise that military expenditure has gone up. We're in a very unstable world. It's been looking to be that way for some time, and I think what has catalyzed everything now is Russia's aggression against Ukraine, and obviously the implicit threat to all free countries in Western Europe.
OK, all right. Well, I mean, I suppose, do we need to spend more? We are giving some of it away to Ukraine, aren't we? How will that impact our military might?
Well, I think the integrated review introduced a very good synthesis between what the UK thought the future context was going to be and what its security interests were likely to be. And in many ways, I think calls to adjust the integrated review in the light of what's happened in Ukraine are slightly missing the point. Ukraine, I think, is probably one of the last of the 20th century wars rather than the first of the 21st century wars. And the integrated review gives the UK a pretty positive and coherent strategy for the future. And we should be careful about taking little bits out of it and taking lessons from Ukraine and saying, well, hey, we need a bigger army. Right now, nobody really knows what we want a bigger army for. They just say they want a bigger one. So my view is integrated review did a good job. And right now, the UK armed forces are reconfiguring both to face the challenges of the 21st century and to get that value for money, which in the past has eluded them. The new Chief of Defence Staff, Admiral Radakin, has been very sure about this, and he's setting about this with some considerable vigour.
And what do you think is Putin's long-term strategy? Because it does seem to have changed, perhaps unsurprisingly. He seems to have lost interest in all diplomatic efforts. He's reported to have actually said the peace talks are at a dead end, and now seems to have his eyes set on, the south of the entirety of the south of Ukraine and moving westwards rather than just the Donbass. I mean, what do you think this man's long-term strategy really is?
Well, I've been saying for the best part of 3 years that Putin's strategy, and I've been on Twitter, I've been on GBNews saying his strategy is to recreate new Russia under Catherine the Great. And that basically means he wants the bottom third of Ukraine, all the way from the Donbass through to Odessa. And 2.5 weeks ago, he gave a speech in front of a statue of Catherine the Great saying, these are my war aims in Ukraine. So the war has been all about the south. He's with his forces, he's tried to fix Ukrainian forces in the north and northeast, and he's been driving across the south and up from Crimea in support of that agenda. So I'm not at all surprised what he's saying. What I am surprised about is that anybody believes anything he says, because he and his vile regime have been consistently lying throughout this. You need to actually interpret his actions, not his words.